So this is MKBHD, as you probably know. We are in his studio. You still haven't seen my studio. I'm just slightly offended, but it's cool.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it eventually. Marquez, you ordered the Roadster.
That's right.
You excited, obviously.
Yeah.
You said you get to give back Apollo, because that's a lease, right? But this car you had to buy.
Yes.
And what sort of options do you get? Like, you click a button and it's like, here's $1 zillion, you'll get a car eventually? Like, what did that process look like?
Yeah, so right now there's either the Founders Edition or the Roadster base model to start. And you can reserve one or the other. Founders Edition, the way we understand it, the way it's gone with Model S and Model X, is it will be red and it will be limited edition, 1 of 1,000 in this Roadster's case, and it'll probably be maxed out. That you put down all of the money for right away. That's your reward.
And the one you get is not maxed out. What does maxed out mean? Because the car is...
Maxed out, this is, so what Elon said is the 0 to 60 and 1.9 is the base model, and there will be some specs you can change, probably maybe an adaptive spoiler, maybe different wheels and tires, maybe there will be different colors, obviously, but also possibly a bigger battery or faster performance. The Founders Edition will have all of this because it's the Founders Edition, and you'll be one of the first 1,000. The regular Roadster reservations, which is everyone else, including me, will get to pick which of those things you want to do. So I'll probably pick gray or a different color.
Okay.
I'll probably pick a certain wheel that I like. I'll get to choose. I may not like the Founders Edition red, whatever. But that's the difference.
But right now, you click some buttons on your phone or on the website, and you weren't able to like kind of choose anything. It's so far out, right?
We'll get that configurator in a couple months or years.
And do they? I mean, did you reserve the Model S in any special way, or you just went to?
No, Model S was already out and existed, and they had an event saying we're adding P100D to the lineup.
Oh, that's right.
And that night I ordered.
Because are you just now kind of left in the dark, more or less, with this Roadster, where like you'll get an email in 6 months being like, hey, we remember you? Like,
I want to know like how many people ordering a Roadster have already bought a Tesla, because it's a really weird thing to buy a car for $250,000 and never see it. Like, that's not a normal process. So
and you have to pay for it like before
up front. Yeah, you put $50,000 down before even configuring the car.
And has anyone, not even car manufacturers, any company, done a pre-order for like something that expensive before?
Maybe somewhere out there, but like you don't see it with the regularity like you do with Tesla Motors.
No, it's like you reserve your iPhone that you're going to pay $1,000 for, or whatever it is, and then it shows up 2 weeks later. But for them to effectively promise you in exchange for $1 zillion, it
shows you how much people like me really trust and value that brand.
So call it now. What month of 2020?
Knowing Elon time, November, December.
Okay.
You know, maybe not. Maybe, I mean, ideally it's like January. They're giving themselves plenty of time. They know what their manufacturing ramp looks like, but you can never predict this stuff.
Right.
You never know what kind of constraints you're going to have down the road. So hopefully earlier than later.
What color are you feeling right now?
I tweeted like a space gray mock-up, which was the gray.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
But I haven't actually seen that. I've seen red and silver in the event. So.
But you haven't seen the thing in real life either.
No, I've just seen videos of it.
Okay.
And the red looks pretty good. Obviously, it has the black wheels. And then there's this silver version, which looks pretty sweet, too. I think they'll all look great.
Yeah.
But I'm probably going to go with either a red or a gray or one in those two.
And then get it, like, kind of wrapped like you have Apollo?
I think we're probably going to go that way.
Yeah. So we're coming to the end of 2017. Remember when everyone was like, oh, 2016 was the worst year ever?
Yeah.
And now 2017, we're at the end of 2017, and there's just, everything is lit.
It's chaos.
Favorite tech right now. What are you super into right now? For me, it's AirPods. I love the AirPods for me. What are you really into right now?
AirPods were a nice surprise. This has been actually a really great year for phones and phone cameras. Cameras, I've said even in past years they got really good, but this year they got great. Pixel 2 is an amazing camera.
Hands down, best smartphone camera ever, I think, right?
Yeah,
Pixel 2?
No doubt. You expect that year to year, but it's just so good this year. V30 takes amazing videos on a smartphone, and you get all that manual control. So if you're a smartphone
shoots raw video,
shooter,
right?
Yeah, shoots raw video. I don't know if it's raw, but it has an S-Log profile, which you can color correct and get extra dynamic range out of. It's really special. Yeah.
So phone cameras.
Phones and phone cameras, I'll say that's my tech of the year. Okay.
And looking forward, what do you want from a tech perspective, or do you think you're kind of satisfied, saturated with thousands of gadgets in here.
Never really satisfied with tech, but I guess moving forward, screens are a focus because they got so big on phones now. So you kind of want to see screens take that next step forward. Maybe we get that 120 hertz bandwagon going. Maybe we get that ProMotion display on. The thing is, it's not really in OLED panels yet, which is why it's hard to say that now. But
and the only phone that has the 120 hertz screen is
the only phone that does that is a Razer.
Okay.
The Razer phone. It's in the iPad Pro, which is also an IPS display. When I talked to Razer, I don't know the difference between we can't do it in an OLED or there are no OLEDs that do it yet, but I would love to see 120 hertz display in a bunch of phones.
Are tablets dead?
If it's not an iPad, yes.
You still stand by that statement, huh?
Yes.
And smartwatches?
If it's not an Apple Watch,
you're wearing an Apple Watch.
If it's not an Apple Watch, it's going to be really hard to convince me they're not dead.
Did you see that Bloomberg Gurman scoop with the 19 Apple AR glasses headset thing?
No.
So there was an article. Gurman, formerly of 9 to 5 Mac, said that Apple's working on a wearable. It's going to run a new
face wearable.
Yeah, a face wearable.
Okay.
Do you? Remember Glass, right?
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
just that was a thing for a hot second. It was cool, but we're I feel like we're getting toward the era of visual computing in front of the eyes.
Was it way ahead of its time?
I think so. I really think so. Do you think we'll head down that path?
Do I think so? No. But can I see that being like a promising future? Yes. There's a lot of things that I think people thought would be a thing.
Flying cars.
Flying cars. But like VR has been kicking off and awesome in gaming. But in gaming is different from like mom and dad's house. Like
right.
Mom and dad don't know about VR in the same way that you'd hope they would. So, face computing seems promising.
We have it here, right? We have it in the hands, and now it's like kind of on the wrist.
I've kind of said that like smartphones may be like the final form. Like smartphones, even though they're evolving and changing in their shape and their functions and how good they are at things, I think we're always just going to carry a thing.
As an extension of our existence, right?
It's a thing that we can put down and pick up and use and then stop using. I think that thing is what we're working, like that's as far as I can see. Maybe that makes me short-sighted. Maybe it's going to be built into my contact lenses in 3 years. Maybe I have no idea.
Or built right into the brain.
Or just surgery and you're a cyborg and you're good for a while. But as far as I know, it's like a thing that I pick up and use and put down at the end of the day.
Back to Elon for just another second, because he's my hero. Have you met him?
I shook hands with him. I've met him, yeah.
Did you have a conversation with him, like
No.
like one of these kind of like sit
No.
down talk with him, or
No,
like
it was a
quick
press gathering for a brief 20-something minutes where there was just people grilling him basically, and then I had a question, and then that was it.
If you could ask him something,
Yeah.
besides when you're getting your Roadster,
Yeah, if I could ask him about that Roadster, I probably would. What do you mean by tons of storage?
it's got a front.
Yeah, no, I'd probably have to come up with some drafts because there's a lot of things I'd love to ask someone in that position. Yeah.
Are you interested in space at all?
Yes.
Would you go like on a Virgin Galactic?
I've thought about that.
Yeah.
I would go and come back. There's people who are like,
Mars.
would you go to Mars? I don't know about that.
Okay.
That's the thing, like, because we're still so early.
Yeah.
And like when you go to Mars, first of all, you have a different internet. Think about that. Like all the satellites and everything that we're talking to and all the data stored. When I go to Mars, if I upload to YouTube, nobody on Earth is going to see that. That's a different internet. I have to send it to Earth. That's not the only reason I don't want to go to Mars is because the internet's different. I'm just saying, there's a lot of things we don't think about when we're that early.
Yeah.
So, I'd
but
go
you
to
would
space.
you would do the kind of
I'd do that.
a tour
I would love
of
to
space.
do a little 0G flight. I'd love to do some stargazing from above the atmosphere. I'd love to do that kind of stuff.
Would you bring a camera with you?
Yeah.
Like the red camera?
That's
or would
the
you
only
trust
one
the
I would
smart
bring. I'd bring the Hasselblad, probably. I'd bring some crazy stuff. I mean, I'd love to remember that for a long time. But yeah, that seems pretty fun.
And last question.
All right.
Go-to smartphone right now at the end of 2017?
At the end of 2017, my Panda Pixel 2 XL 128 gig is coming in the mail pretty soon, and I think that's going to be the one I stick with until probably new Samsung stuff. I tend to be a flagship big phone type of person. There's great phones under that price. Like, I know it's $1,000 phone when I think about Note and iPhone 10, but I think Pixel 2 because of how good the camera is, because of how good the OS is, and how good Google works with my OS, I think it's Pixel 2.
Pixel 2 until something else comes out.
Pixel 2 until we're probably going to see
2017.
Galaxy S9.
Yeah.
We're probably going to see all kinds of stuff in like April, May. But for now, yeah.
Pixel 2. Ladies and gentlemen, MKBHD, you definitely know who he is. If you somehow don't, you should definitely know who he is. Link in the description. Marquez, until next time, thanks. And that's it. I'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.